Hello, YouTubers. It's Barbie J here. Welcome to my channel, June BLC. Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of The Equalizer, Season 5, Episode 5. Take My Life, Please. And this was a good episode as always. I gotta tell you, I ain't never seen a bad Equalizer. If you have, put it down in the comment section. I mean, there's things that I could pull out and pick with, saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have did this and that scene that makes sense." But the storyline and everything is always on point and powerful. Anyhow, before we get started, if you are new here or if you're returning here and have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. Then I ask that you hit the notification bell because then it'll let you know every time. Oh, you have to select all and it'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, which is the thumbs up button, write a comment and join our conversation, and then share because sharing is caring. Now, this episode starts off with a comedian doing stand-up comedy, jokes about his ex, and then announces that he's joining a tour, so this is supposed to be a big thing for his career. Then as he and his new wife are leaving the club and getting into their car, another car rolls by and tries to hit him. He jumps up on the hood and moves just in time. Then it switches over to Aunt Vi. She's in the kitchen checking her pathology biopsy results to see if she has cancer. But it's pending. It says pending, so they haven't figured it out yet. And then Robin walks in. And while they're chatting, Vi accidentally knocks over her iPad. Robin picks it up and sees what was on the screen. Vi snatches it away and puts and closes it. And Robin asks if there's something she wants to tell her. And Vi says no. Then she said, "Come on, Auntie." And then the next thing, Dee walks in with an attitude because what the college rep said about her checking off all of their boxes means they just want her in their college because of DEI, the fact that she's black. And both Vi and Robin give her advice to calm her concerns, which, they always so good at it. I tell you, they really are. Then we have Robin. She goes to meet Marcus and he updates her about Big Ben. Then he asks about Mel because he heard she was coming back, and Robin feels that it's too soon for Mel to come back. And as they're chatting, he said he misses this, I guess their time together. And then Robin pings, and he says, "But I don't miss that." And Robin said, "Duty calls," and then she bounces. So Robin goes to the bar to meet up with her client, Mrs. Harris, who shares with her that her husband, Craig Harris, the comedian, where there was an attempt on his life. So Robin asks her, "What did the police say about it?" And she said, "Nothing, because my husband won't let me go to the police." And she said, "That's strange." She said she knows. So she said she's so worried about her husband, she doesn't know what to do. And so Robin said she'll look into it. Robin goes down into the sanctum or the bat cave, I'm gonna call it, and she sees Mel down there. She's, "Oh, Mel, you're here." And Mel is like, "Okay, you acted funny towards me, and my husband's acting funny towards me, Harry, so what's going on? I told y'all I was coming back." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, all right." So we see Harry's hand is something wrong with it. They're saying that he has carpal tunnel, but I did read an article that he really had surgery on his hand in real life. So they had to work it into the show and into the script because he had to wear that cast for several weeks. So just to let y'all know that little tidbit, it wasn't part of the script. They just had to add it in because in real life he had surgery. So now Robin decides she's going to go and meet with Craig and talk to him and see what's going on. And Mel is like, "Okay, I'll go with you." And she's like, "No, that's okay. I got it. It's just a simple thing." And so Mel is feeling some kind of way. And she said, "You know what? You're welcome to come with me if you want to." She said, "No, no, that's okay. I'll wait here." So Robin goes and meets with Craig. Craig acts like it's no big deal. Nobody's trying to kill me. He gets in his car. He pulls off. Robin sees the brake fluid oil on the floor. She starts running after the car. He crashes into some stuff. And then she opens the door and asks, "Is he okay?" And he said, "Yes." She said, "I'm telling you, somebody's trying to kill you." He said, "Yes, somebody's trying to kill me, but only because I asked them to." And Robin's looking at him like he's crazy. So he tells Robin what's going on. He tells her how he bust his butt to make something of himself so that poverty never hurts his family again, because he told the story about how his brother had sickle cell and they couldn't afford his medical bill. So since COVID, he lost a lot. He had to downsize. They were like, his career was over. He couldn't do anything. And a month ago, he said his son fell and broke his arm and he couldn't afford the hospital bill. So he felt worthless. And then he realized that he was worth more dead than alive. So he got his friends together and asked them to take him out for the insurance money. How dare you? You're going to ask your friends to kill you for the insurance money. Anyway, now things started looking up, and he got caught up with this new tour that he's going to be a part of, and he forgot to call off the hit. So he told them on Friday he was going to update his policy when his lawyer got back into town. So Robin is like, oh my goodness. So that means your friends still have up until Friday to collect on your insurance policy. And he's like, I wouldn't do that. He said, those are my boys. I trust them with my life. That's why I trusted them with my death. So Robin's like, well, we need to talk to them. And that's just what she did. So now we switch over to a scene with Marcus at the hospital talking to his mother, and she told him she is tired of putting his father's needs before hers and that she's filing for divorce. Then Marcus learns that his mother knew he had a brother and he was upset she hadn't told him. And she told him, you know what, I did the best I could, and that the truth is we both fulfilled our obligations to your father and then some. And she said, you have a choice now. You can either deal with him or not. Then she added, my choice has been made, and she walked away. So now we see who Craig's friends are: Trey Fletcher, Austin Williams, Vesta Lee. Trey was his college roommate, and Harry interviewed him. Austin was they've been tight since diapers, and Mel spoke to him. And then Vesta used to be Craig's mentor, and Robin spoke to them. And they asked them questions and sort of like interrogated them just to see where they stand. And they all had grudges against this man. But the thing is, they all came out clean. None of them had did it. So Robin, Mel, and Harry think that someone else is trying to kill Craig, but they don't know who. So they're going to go back and talk to Craig. Meanwhile, now we have Aunt Vi and Dee in a car talking, and Dee is saying how her dad wants her to attend top college, like an Ivy League. Aunt Vi gave her some info about a few HBCU colleges and told her that she has to find the college that is perfect for her. And then Vi added, wouldn't it be nice to go someplace where you're celebrated and not just tolerated? And Dee smiled and thought about it like, yeah. So now we have a scene where Mel and Robin go to talk to Craig again, who's in a park with Cliff going over some new material. And while chatting with him, he gets a food delivery. So he says thanks to Cliff, who says, I didn't order that. So Robin grabbed it and took it and sniffed it, and she smells cyanide. So they asked the delivery guy where he got that food from, and they made him describe who gave it to him, and it sounded like Trey. So that's just who it was. But he said he had nothing to do with the other attempts on Craig's life. He was trying to kill Craig to pay off debts to some guys he borrowed money from. They threatened to kill him, and he got into this whole situation because Craig pulled out of a deal with him and bankrupted him back in the day. So Robin put cuffs on him, and Mel called the police. Then Robin gets a text message, and she asks Mel to get Craig and Shauna set up in a safe house. And Mel said, you sure I can handle that? And Robin said, I deserve that. She said, yes, I think you could handle it, and I'll meet you there. And she's like, okay. So next thing you know, you see Robin walking with Marcus, and they're walking and talking, and he's sharing with her what transpired between him and his mother. And Robin gave him some good advice and agreed with his mother on one point. Marcus said, truth is, I don't know what I want, to do about anything. He said, I just know how I feel. And Robin said, I know what you mean. And they got real close to each other, and they were about to kiss. And Robin stopped him, reminding him that nothing has changed. He still lives in Cali, and she still lives here. And I got to tell y'all, I was so disappointed about that. But I don't know if any of y'all notice how Robin always puts her hand on his chest and rubs it down his tight abs. Ooh, child. Like, girl, you better stop it. And I told you I got a picture with him when I saw him on Broadway. Oh my God, Dante is so fine. Anywho, he asked her about her case and is there anything he could do to help? And she's like, no, we got it covered. And then she left him. So now we have Craig and Shauna get into the safe house, and Mel asks them to write a list of enemies. And Shauna lets Craig know that his jokes hurt people sometimes, and that he has to realize that, and that's why folks be wanting to get even with him and be upset. And he said, I know, but I just want to make people laugh. Then it switches over to Aunt Vi. She takes Dee to meet Kenya, who's the daughter of the stylist who did Dee's hair a few episodes back. And Kenya goes to FAMU. And Dee asked her a few questions about the HBCUs and doing steps, and other students added in their 2 cents. And then Dee got a chance to see them students do a step, and she recorded them with a big smile on her face, because it feels good to go to a college where you belong and people are not looking at you like a diversity hire. You know what I mean? And now we have Harry calling Robin and telling her that Craig's ex-wife, Markeisha, who he does several jokes about during his set, and he's saying she may be someone of interest who wants to kill Craig. So Robin calls Craig and asks him about Markeisha, and he said that they were really cool and they put all that stuff behind them a long time ago. He said, matter of fact, she's on her way here. And Robin got concerned. She said, you gave her the safe house address? He said, yeah. She said there was something she needed to talk to me about. And Robin told him, you need to leave right away. So he gets into his car, and Markeisha rolls up on him and starts swinging a crowbar and bashing his windows and yelling at him, saying, you ruined my life with your stupid comedy. So Robin comes up behind Markeisha and snatches the crowbar from her and stop her from singing. Then Craig drives off, and Robin goes after him because he refuses to come back. So Mel stays with Shauna and Markeisha when she realizes something. So she calls Harry and asks him when was the tour announced. And then she asks, was anyone bumped off for the tour so that they can add Craig? And Harry said, yes, somebody named Cliff Phillip. And if y'all remember, Cliff just so happens to be the guy who has been helping Craig with all of his material, his comedy material. So Craig shows up at the Gotham Comedy Club and asks to go on because he needs to make an announcement. And Cliff happens to be there, and the owner bumps Cliff to allow Craig some stage time since he's the hottest comic in town. But what wasn't fair was Cliff said he'd been waiting there for hours to go on, and you just gonna bump me like that? So he was like, look, I gotta do that. So Craig is like, here, Cliff, I need you to record it for me because I want to live stream it. And Cliff doesn't move at all. So the owner takes the phone and says, I'll do it. Then Cliff gets his gun out, and as Craig is on stage making a heartfelt apology, he walks out on that stage pointing the gun at Craig and said, apology not accepted. And the folks start gasping and hiding and moving away, and he's yelling, don't move, but they're scared. So he told Craig to tell the truth. He said, tell the truth. I wrote all of your jokes that made you famous, and that he is the funny one. And he's like, yes, he did write most of my best jokes. And then Craig found out that Cliff was bumped from the tour because of him. And Craig was like, I didn't know. He's like, yeah, sure you did. You up here eating steak and throwing me a bone and all this stuff. So he was very upset. And they say, it was my time. It was my time, and you messed it up for me. So then all of a sudden, Robin came in and tackled Cliff down from behind, and Craig got hit by one of Cliff's bullets, but it was only a flesh wound. So now we have Marcus' mother meeting him in a restaurant. She doesn't want to drink. She doesn't want to eat. She just wanted to tell him that he could write a check for his father's care and walk away and still be a good man. And then she said, I brought you something. And she gave him a bag of letters that his father had written for him many years ago from prison. And he's like, wait, I threw all these away. He said, and you took them out the garbage so that I could have them? She said, not all my secrets were bad ones. She said, maybe reading these letters will help you make an informed decision about your father. So then she kissed him on the cheek and walked out the restaurant, leaving him sitting there. So now we're at the bar, and it's open mic night, and Craig is thanking Robin for saving his life. And she says she can't take credit for it. It was Mel who pieced it all together. So Craig said, thanks, Mel. And she said, happy to help. And Harry said, welcome back, and told her he is proud of her. And then two of Craig's friends came into the bar and apologized for not being honest with how they felt. And they all decided to give their friendship a reset. And then Robin tells Mel she's sorry for doubting her. And she realizes how blessed she is to have a friend she can truly trust with her life. And Mel said, oh, I love you, Rob. And they hugged as Craig was up at the mic trying out some of his new material. So the episode ends with a kitchen scene, of course, with Dee and Aunt Vi, and they're talking. Robin shows up, wants to know why Dee is so excited, and Dee tells her how Aunt Vi had introduced her to these HBCU students, and that Howard, Spelman, and FAMU are now schools that she is seriously considering. And Robin's like, "That's great. Did you tell your father?" And she said, "Yeah, he still wants me to go Ivy. He's thinking, but he said any school that gets me will be lucky." And that is so right. So she wanted to go and show Cam the video she recorded of the kids stepping. And then she went to her room, and then Robin and Vi talked. Aunt Vi told Robin what happened with the biopsy, and they saw something during her mammogram. And she said, "I'll always be here for you, Aunt Vi, the way you're here for me and Delilah." And she was like, "Okay, well, can you help me with this one thing?" She said, "The results have come in, and I'm very scared and nervous to open it up and look at it." So Robin opens up, looks at it, and says, "You have no cancer." And she showed it to her, and Aunt Vi was so excited and happy, and they said it's time to celebrate, and they went and had them a glass of wine together. And then Aunt Vi said, "Well, let's talk about something else now." She said, "How's Marcus?" And then Robin said they almost kissed, and she said, "What?" And she said, "But I didn't let it happen." But Aunt Vi, you are right. It is very hard for me to separate my feelings from him every time I'm in his presence. She said, "I just want more." So Vi said, "So what you gonna do about it?" And that's the way it ended. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was great, as I always do. Just put it down in the comment section. And I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, because sharing is caring. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.